Hi guys, it's Jenny from Angel Handmade Papercraft here. Today I have a card process video for you. I am using the Stampendous house mouse stamps called Balloon Surprise. You may have seen my previous video which included the colouring of this image. If you haven't, there will be a link at the end of the video that you can go back and watch that. So this is just the video of putting the card together if you're interested. Right here I am using the My Favourite Things stitched rounded rectangles, just sizing it up onto my card. I will be using just a little bit of washi tape just to hold that rectangle still. Sometimes they do move when you run them through your Big Shot, and after doing all that colouring I didn't want it to move and ruin my image. The image was stamped on Mondi Colour Copy 250 GSM, and I used Memento Tuxedo Black for that. The image was coloured using Copic markers. So all the details of that is on that other video that will be linked. I'm just running the die through my Sizzix Big Shot, just with the standard 2 plates and magnetic platform underneath. Just carefully removing the washi tape. This is a doily from, I think it's a Papercraft one. I'm not sure, all of mine are out of a packet at the moment. I'm using a Twiddly Bits pre-made card base. I did buy these in bulk quite a while ago, so I'm not sure if you can still purchase those or not. Just using a few little leftovers from a Studio Calico here and there paper pad. Sometimes it's fantastic just to go through your scrap drawer, scrap bucket, however you keep all your little bits and pieces, and use those instead of opening up a new sheet. So that's what I'm doing here today. So all of these patterned papers are all from that same paper pad. Just using my Tim Holtz Tonic Studios cutter there, which was purchased from Oz Trinklets and Crafts. Just popping that in behind the doily. I haven't stuck anything down yet. I won't do that until I've worked out exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just attaching the rectangle to the doily so that nothing moves and I know what I'm doing. That was my Scotch ATG gun that you've seen me using with the adhesive. That's also available from Oz Trinklets and Crafts. I actually purchased the refills from Create by Me Studio. I'm actually part of the tape club with that, so every month I get so many tapes sent out to me depending on which size club you have signed up for. So it's createbymestudio.com.au. It's awesome. I never ever run out of ATG club out of ATG tapes I should say. Because every month it automatically gets sent to me, and I've always got extras here, as I know. Sometimes I go through a lot of tapes, sometimes I don't, so when I'm not, obviously I get a little bit of a stockpile for when I am busy. And like I said, they get automatically sent out every month, which is great. You never have to worry about running out of tape. So I've just cut a little flag end out of that using my Fiskars scissors. Taped it down with my Scotch ATG. Now I had this My Favourite Things stamp set sitting on my desk, so I'm just using the Happy Birthday stamp off that one. That's the Up and Away, I believe it's called. Using some Memento Tuxedo Black and a Lawn Fawn acrylic block. These are a really nice My Favourite Things stamp. They stamp really crisp and clear. Just adhering everything down to the card base again, just using that ATG gun. Now some people think the ATG gun is huge. It is, but you do get used to it. And with the amount of tape that I go through, it's great for me. and it's pink, so who doesn't want a pink one? Just carefully adhering all of that down, making sure it's all flat. Laying down my doily there. Now when you're using these doilies, you need to be really careful when you use a tape runner, not just the ATG, any tape runner, because the little bits and pieces are so brittle, it sometimes picks them up and it does rip them. It's happened to me quite a few times where I've then had to replace the doily that I've got on my project. So just be very careful when you're doing that. So just popping that down on the card base, just on top of all those pattern papers that I've already adhered. Carefully giving it a rub so it's down flat. Closing up my ink before I end up with any of it on my project, which I have a habit of doing. Now I'm just going to add a few little details using the Uniball Signo White Angelic Gel Pen. Just a couple of little dimples on their cheeks, a little detail to the balloon, some details onto the ears, just so they stand out a little bit more. Just blending it in with my finger while it's still wet. And just, yep, back to just the detail onto the balloon, just so it does look a little more rounded. You don't need to add all these details in if you don't want to. Now I'm grabbing my Wink of Stella clear glitter brush pen. Now these are great. You don't get like a lot of liquid coming out of them, but it's just enough to coat your images. You can also, when you get to the end of these, you can actually open them up and pop a little bit more water in and use that last little bit of glitter that's inside them. I've done that quite a few times actually, because there is quite a lot of glitter that gets stuck inside the barrel. Just adding the glitter onto the balloon. Having a think about where else I would like to put it while I'm doing that. I like a bit of glitter on my project, so I'm going overboard here. It's not necessary. You do get a lot of glitter out of just one brush over. So that's it. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that sparkle there in the video. Now I do decorate the inside of all of my cards, usually just something simple like a little bit of extra paper that I had left over. Sometimes I'll stamp an extra image in there, sometimes I won't, just depending on how I feel. Just popping some ATG onto that strip. Now I haven't worried about cutting that to size, just laying my card down straight onto my cutting mat there, lining it all up, and I'll cut the excess off with my scissors once it's all stuck down, or adhered I should say. So just once again, just my Sizzix, not my Sizzix, my Fiskars scissors. Cutting off both ends there, sorry, a little bit off frame. Normally I would use bigger scissors so I can cut it a little bit easier, but those were on my desk already, so I just used those. Now just attaching a white square on top of that excess paper, just so that the sender can have somewhere to write to the recipient. And that's my card pretty much done for today. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Don't forget to like my video if you like it, leave a comment if you like, and yeah, if you'd like to follow my videos, please hit subscribe. All the links are at the end. Thanks for stopping by.